Hello, everyone. Welcome to Need to Know Influencer Marketing. Joining me is Gil Eyal, CEO of Hyper. And today we're going to talk about the politics of influencers and brands and what the heck is going on out there. You've got to be careful. Gil, let's just jump right in, okay? So what I'm seeing out there is this situation where influencers are bringing their politics with them, kind of like what celebrities have done. And I think it's getting them into a lot of trouble, and I think it's getting the brands into a lot of trouble, unless the brand is far left, far right, and then it doesn't matter because the audience doesn't care that the influencer is preaching far left stuff or far right stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're known for if you're an influencer because of your political opinion, it's one thing. But if you're an influencer that happens to also have a strong opinion, that's where it gets complicated and you can really screw yourself over.
Yeah, I mean, influencers are an extension of your brand. You got to be really careful when you're working with them on these influencer campaigns. So if you got somebody like Lena Dunham out there, let's face it, she's on the left side of the spectrum. She's talking about all that stuff, and your audience, generally is conservative, or even half of it's conservative. That's probably not a good idea.
I'm Lena Dunham, and according to Donald Trump, my body is probably like a 2. I am a pro-choice, feminist, sexual assault survivor with a chronic reproductive illness. Donald Trump and his party think I should be punished for exercising my constitutional rights. His rhetoric about women takes us back to a time when we were meant to be beautiful and silent.
It's also inauthentic, right? Because she was saying she was going to move from the U.S. if Trump won, and I don't know. In my mind, Lena Dunham's a warm weather kind of city girl. Where's she going? She's not going to like Toronto.
They all say they're going to Canada.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where is she? She's moving to negative 30-degree weather from South Beach. I don't know, or California, or wherever it is she lives. But I think that emotion is something that costs a price. I forget the name of the comedian who posted, if you can call her a comedian, who posted Trump's head cut off. At the end of the day, there's a price to pay if you're associated with these celebrities or influencers, and they have a price to pay for it. And it's challenging to mix politics with entertainment.
Yeah, you almost want to advise don't do it, especially if you're kind of trying to be a centrist. You've got people on both sides of it. It's unfortunate. You should be able to say what you want as an influencer, but not when you're representing a brand, or if you're looking for to work with a brand in the future. I think it's very dangerous to kind of expose your politics. But it's continuing to happen. One example I like to bring up is this Kat Von D, who ran a contest with a makeup brand, and a winner was selected, and Kat goes to her Instagram feed and sees a pro-Trump post and tries to cancel, awarding the winner of this contest, which is illegal, tries to cancel it. I think she either walked away from this contest later on, or anyway, it blew up. And, the person that looked the worst was the brand who had brought Kat Von D into this situation and decided to kind of wreck the whole thing because the winner was a Trump fan.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to us. I grew up in an environment where you didn't ask people, who do you vote for?
Yeah, and you didn't hold it against them.
Yeah, and you were generally ashamed of everything you believed in, regardless of what it was. And now people are so public about it and so certain that they're always right. Regardless of left or right, you need to be able to have an environment where people can speak freely. And if you know you're going to be disqualified from a competition and nobody's going to say anything because you skew to the left or to the right a little bit, that's a really bad scenario. And I think she paid a price she didn't expect to be paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, what advice would you give brands in this case? I mean, if you're going to hire an influencer, and a lot of our brands hire 50 influencers, what is your advice to them before they hire influencers in, let's just say it's a standard commercial type influencer campaign?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to really do your research. We've seen it with politics. We've seen it with other things where backgrounds come back to haunt you. I don't envy the brands working with Clay Travis after he decided to make that boob comment.
I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I believe in only two things completely, the First Amendment and boobs. And so once they made the decision that they were
Wait,
not
did you
going
just
to
say
allow a
you believe in the
conservative,
First Amendment
non-sports
and-
related commentary. They
Wait,
couldn't
hold
do it
on.
either.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly as a woman anchoring the show. Did you say, what did you just say? You
Yeah.
believe in the First Amendment and BWBS?
Boobs. Two things that have only never let me down in this entire country's history, the First Amendment and boobs.
Yeah, I get it. You believe in free speech. There's also free speech, and there's also like a time to say certain things. And the brands associated are suffering, if there are any brands associated at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they probably all left him because of that comment. It was ill-advised. It wasn't even in context. It wasn't even a joke. Anyway, so I don't know how Brand could have recognized that ahead of time, but you know, you got to be careful with people that are like this, that are mavericks. Go ahead, Gil.
Brands are doing their research. We work with a lot of brands. I know you do as well. Part of the reason why they want to work with us is because they want to make sure that they're not hiring someone who has a history of saying or behaving in ways that will negatively impact them.
Yeah, I would have to agree. You got to have that extra layer, that political layer nowadays. It's just the atmosphere that's been created by our current president and all those opposing him, especially those in Hollywood. Influencers are no different. You know, I lump them in with some of the celebrities, especially the tier one influencers. You have to be very careful who you get into bed with as you're going together and marketing your particular product.
Yeah, I mean, influencer marketing allows you to spread yourself a little thinner. You don't have to work with one celebrity. So, you know, if Jared from Subway decides, you know, or gets in major trouble, he drags Subway along with him. But if you're working with 50 different influencers and one of them gets in trouble, you part ways and you still have 49 others. And that's part of the really cool part of this revolution that's happening, where brands are recognizing opportunities with smaller niche influencers that really appeal to their audience.
Yeah, we should do a follow-up on that, what to do when somebody goes off the reservation. That would be a good episode. Maybe we could talk about that. I've experienced that. I'm sure you have. So we'll do that next time. But Gil, thank you very much. People can find Gil at www.hyperbrands.com. That's HYPR brands.com. And Gil, where can they find you?
I'm at Gil at hyperbrands.com.
Excellent. Thanks again, Gil. Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.